Hello and welcome back to the Penthouse Podcast. I'm your host, True Legend, aka DVM. I'm here with my co-host Lando,
What's up, motherfuckers?
Steven,
What's up?
and drum roll, special guest in the house, Moses. Breathing into the mic.
What's going on, guys? How you doing? Pleasure to be here.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right.
Mo, do you have any plugs?
Like, into a wall?
Speaking of the wall, me and Lando tried getting my TV mount onto the wall. Bunch of freaking holes in there now.
Is that what I saw in there? That big fail?
Yeah, that was a big fail.
So anyways, Moses, why'd you want to come on our podcast?
Yeah, man,
I
what are
was
you
dying to come on here. No,
doing? What are you doing here?
I was asked to come on, and it was pretty cool.
No one asked.
Oh. But, man, I don't know, man. I just felt like it was good, you know? Like, you guys do a good job. I like what you guys do. I listened to the last two podcasts you guys did, and it's pretty dope. Steven kind of runs his mouth a little bit too much, but that's Steven for you.
Well, when you join an uncensored podcast, that's bound to happen.
Yeah, it
This
is.
is true.
So, hey, you know what? The world needs a lot of different podcasts, and why not one of these?
I agree.
Well, we can't do this in Singapore, so...
Yes, we can't.
Well, there's a lot of things you can't do in Singapore.
Like?
Well, if you smuggle drugs into the country, they'll put you to death.
Yeah, they will.
I know. They're pretty fucking strict.
Orlando should live there.
Hey, guys, I'm clean now, so go fuck yourselves.
Well, I'm clean too, and I took a shower earlier.
And you still smell.
Exactly.
Got that bum stench just stuck on you, huh?
Probably. It's pretty gross in downtown.
Oh, gosh.
It's not stuck on you from that, but anyways.
Speaking of bums, let's talk about scammers, remember?
Ooh, man. There are too
We
many
thought-
scammers in this fucking...
We
What's
thought we
going-
had our first sponsor, but no, we were wrong.
Have you guys heard of that term multi-level marketing before?
Never.
Enlighten me.
Enlighten him.
Basically, it's a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Basically.
Well, what kind of pyramid scheme we talking?
I've been in plenty of them, so don't feel bad.
You have, dude.
Moses, you
have.
look like the kind of person that would be like, timeshare sounds like a good idea.
It still does.
Hey, I recall a really long time ago before we officially knew each other like that.
Yeah.
We were at Anytime Fitness and you were with our vendor.
Yes.
And
That was a pyramid scam.
no, I knew that. But
Wake up now?
that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But
You talking about Wake Up Now?
wake up now.
Yeah, that was so stupid, man. Put $100, never saw it back. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life, man.
What's Wake Up Now?
It's this stupid thing where it's like a coupon book that you bought and you sold, and you get people to come in, and everybody goes on these big old trips when you bring like 10 people in. Dude, I brought like 9, and I have still yet to see the money or vacation time. And I don't even know what happened to it now. You Google it, it's gone.
Well, it's just a bunch of dicks at the bottom paying the people up at the top. And they're the smart ones. But
They're just like,
They got
see
their
ya,
money.
bye.
They
happens.
got their money, so.
what about our vendor? He seems like one of those people that would get into those. Knowing the risks.
He was actually one of the guys that got us into it. Me and my brothers were into it. Yeah, he's the type that he wants to get, he wants to get rich quick, and there's no shame in that. I mean, we all want to get rich, we all want money, but
See, I don't think
sometimes you gotta
that's,
know your sources.
I don't think that's possible. A get rich quick kind of.
No, I mean, of course, I mean,
Have you
making
ever seen
money
people
the
in a
right way.
casino
and-
before?
Whatever.
You ever seen people in a casino before?
Oh, that's
Some of them get rich
That's
quick.
like the luckiest way to get rich quick.
Yeah, that's obviously that's a fucking gamble, but
Yeah, it is. But yeah, those. I mean, it's impossible to get rich quick. You're not gonna see $1 million check the very next day. But hey,
Or just be out in the streets. Get on your knees.
oh yeah,
Steven?
oh, Steven's already assuming the position.
I guess you could do that.
He has his legs open. He's ready.
Oh my god.
Well, no, you see, I'm the only one in here that doesn't have a proper chair, so my ass hurts and I have to keep readjusting.
Wouldn't be the first time.
What are you talking about? These are the most comfortable chairs I've ever seen. I mean, can't go wrong with the chest for a chair.
Hey, you got the special treatment because you're our guest.
I can't even reach the floor, man. My legs are locking up right here.
How tall are you, Moses?
I am 5'3".
Okay, that's actually not too bad. It's around average height.
For a man, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but
It's what's in the pants that counts.
okay. I don't know.
No, never mind.
Yeah, no, it is. It's true.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking
Moses
about
is
my-
good there.
Shut up.
I would know. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of you knowing, Mo, I got a question to ask you. Well, just something to verify.
Go ahead, man. What's up?
In the previous podcast, we were discussing about how Steven got somewhat of an erection from a lap dance you gave him. Is that true?
So
Where's the video?
yes, there. Okay, I didn't know at the time. Okay, you guys, everyone that's listening, you need to understand. I'm a very outgoing person. I like to joke around. I love to mess around, and
You're an
I
extrovert. That's not
even
a bad
I
thing.
even have this thing where I happen to attempt to strip, not my clothes, just dance erotically, and I was jokingly doing it to Steven, and Steven took it to the max. And
No, my dick took it to the max.
wait, so are you admitting that you did?
No, I'm just kidding.
You're lying, dude.
Liar!
So I guess while I was doing this, my wife was recording, or
Either-
somebody recorded
yeah.
it, and later, like, we didn't even notice until later on when we actually watched it, and yeah, you could see it going up.
See, I've yet to
Shows
see this
popping out.
video, and I don't remember what this last
Look
dance
at,
was.
trust me, man. If it wasn't true, I would not want to brag about it.
You're not bragging about it, though.
Okay, I wouldn't want to. I wish it wasn't true. I just. Wish
I don't think
wasn't
it
true.
is. I don't even remember you giving me a lap dance.
You were
I do
drinking.
recall.
The only lap dance I remember is Josiah giving Daniel the most uncomfortable
Oh,
lap dance
no.
ever with his shirt off.
Oh no.
Du hast.
Dang.
He was trying to like rope you like you were his cowboy bitch or something.
I forgot.
Was I
what-
there? I don't remember that one.
No, it was me, you, and Josiah and Steven. We were trying to get Steven to give Josiah a lap dance on the bed. Because he was on the bed, remember? I had recorded it, remember? I uploaded it to my
Oh, yeah. Okay,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's called HQ.
Okay.
So you guys, go subscribe and go check it out, please.
Ooh, promoting.
Dude,
Steven, this dance.
I don't understand why we did all those, dude. Like that.
Man, we did some gay shit.
Like, for some reason, that was the thing to do. Put music on, sing a little bit, and then dance on each other.
I'm just saying it didn't happen.
I didn't get a
without
boner
proof.
from Mo. He didn't get a boner from Mo.
Thank you.
I didn't either.
Yes, you
did.
did. You have one right now.
Yeah.
I do not have one right
Oh
now.
my god.
Why are you
I
looking?
got 3 men in here with me.
I have 3 men and
In
one
an
of them's
attic.
looking at my crotch, guys.
I can't even see it from here, dude. It's all dark in here.
It's cool. We
You're
know we're
tiny,
here.
but
I like it. You guys got a nice little setup in here. It's pretty dope. I like it.
Hopefully soon we'll actually get a nice space. Steven's buying it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's all on me. It's
gonna
gonna
take
be
time,
a
guys.
luxurious off of Friant Road somewhere.
that's
you know?
a verbal contract right
I mean,
there,
do
guys.
you want to be sitting there for the rest?
We're gonna be in like a mansion, you
Dude,
know.
you guys don't even need that, dude. You guys could use this. Just like
Fix it up.
dress it up, man. Make it look nice.
Just like a woman.
Yes. You know how easy it is to install lights right here? I've already seen it, bro. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I see you guys doing it in here.
Putting some LED light, color changing lights.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say LED, but then you changed what you're gonna say?
Shut up.
Well, I got us for the next podcast. I have some lights that we could incorporate in here.
That's
I,
good.
I forgot them today. Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. We're just in the dark
Nah.
with an iPhone as a light.
It works.
We also have that little computer light that's on.
Very strong. It's actually stronger than the iPhone.
It honestly is.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, so from the last podcast, if you guys were listening, I brought myself water, and I didn't bring these 2 water. But today, I brought everybody some water,
We didn't even ask him. Thank you, Steven.
And no one's
I
even
appreciate
drank any of them yet.
except me. I already finished my water.
Really?
Yeah, I finished it before we started. Oh, now Daniel's gonna chug his water.
So, I know that I'm the guest here, but I have a question for you guys. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what's the goal for this podcast? Like, I know you guys barely started. You're on your 3rd one now. So what's you guys gonna keep doing it this way? You guys have any other plans in the future, or?
If we're being serious here and honest, I would love to get into stand-up comedy, even though I'm not a writer yet.
Okay.
But Fresno's a terrible scene for comedy. There's not much. You'll get your comedians stopping by here every now and then, but it's rare.
Yeah.
but I would like to get into
Stand-up
stand-up.
comedy.
So
What's-
like you want to do like you want to make your okay. So is it gonna be like individually, or is it gonna you guys gonna stay together? Like you plan on branching out? You guys plan on
Steven's
coming?
gonna be the first one to leave.
You guys keep saying I'm gonna be the first one to leave, but if anything, I'm gonna be the last one doing this by
Oh,
myself.
yeah, we doubt it, man.
You're gonna be coming here by yourself while he's asleep.
I'm gonna be like, welcome to the Penthouse Podcast. It's just me. So,
I don't even know if the sound's working right.
he didn't teach me how to do this before he
And
left.
then when he edits it, there's no sound at all.
He's not even recording.
He's just crying up here. He's can't do
No.
this.
Anyways, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, guys.
No, yeah, but
So Moses,
Oh my god.
No, this is why you can't put me and Moses in the same
Dude, for
room.
real, dude, because for some reason when we start laughing, it just don't stop.
I remember we were at Joanna's wedding and you were giggling. You were giggling at something.
The dude's trained.
come on, guys.
Dude, he said he was the strongest one.
Guys,
hey,
calm-
to be
calm down.
fair,
All this
Steven
unnecessary
did
laughing.
help me.
Yeah, but
Bring
dude,
the
you
meat.
should have seen him, bro. Like he got so defensive because we were like, because you asked us, we need the strongest one. Me and Daniel looked at each other like, "Hey, is it you or me?" This guy's like, "Well, I'm the strongest one here," and I'm like, shut your mouth,
He did help though. He went within.
bro. We just didn't want. We were too lazy to go, man. He's all you had.
Okay, guys,
We were
we need to bring this back around.
Look
All
at-
this no, hey, all this unnecessary laughing is going to be confusing to our viewers.
Well, we're explaining.
It's content.
Anyways, to answer your question for me, Moses,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
that's
my goal for this podcast is just to be some kind of comedy outlet out there that doesn't follow the general rules of the world. Like
Okay.
everyone is so PC nowadays, and there's things that people don't want to say. I want to be that podcast that's on the outlier.
I want to add that that's just in America, dude. If you go to Mexico, they don't give a.
Oh, I'm
fuck.
sure, but I mean, look at Mexico.
Good point.
Exactly. So, I want to be that source of comedy people can go to when they just don't want to give a shit. Like they're just like, "Oh, I know they're going to say it how it is." Yeah, they don't care if they might be targeted as, you know, some kind of assassin project or whatever, but I want to be that person out there that just goes on Twitter and it's like, "Yeah, I said it, but fuck off because I don't give a shit." You know?
You're trying to be the new Ari Shafir.
No. I kind of I get inspiration from people like Matt Stone, Trey Parker, because they just don't care what people think about them. Or I don't know much about Ricky Gervais, but he called a lot of people out of the Golden Globes, and I really liked that.
Okay.
Louis C.K.'s pretty messed up. I like him. Bill Burr, you know, some of those comedians or comics that just don't give a shit. That's my goal for this podcast.
Dude, Patrice O'Neill before he died. Oh my god. Did you ever hear Patrice O'Neill?
No.
That guy
I need a face,
slaughtered.
dude. I need to see a face. I'm not really.
Well, he was black and fat.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Black
Oh,
and
that
fat.
Just narrows it down to about 9 million people. All right, so you guys both in agreement with the comedian. You just want to be more.
Vulgar.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you?
basically.
Honestly, I would love to make money off of this being like a job.
Well, I mean, either one. I mean, if you guys take off, like, you know, you guys go out there. Yeah, obviously you're gonna be making your income, but like, what's the goal though? Like, what do you like? Do you plan on staying on comedy too, or do you want to do like something on your own? Like, what's your plan?
Well, I'm already dealing with like a music channel and a gaming channel as well. But for this specifically, I just I don't know what I would do like with this. I'd be hoping I'd still be doing it with them, you know.
Okay.
We're trying to develop an audience, you know, and
We're gonna be in our 60s and we're gonna be doing this.
So is it? God, I hope you guys update your mics. Are you guys going to But do you guys plan on branching out? Like, okay, you guys will have your group, but Daniel will have his own, Orlando on his own, and Steven on his own.
I'm definitely sure it's possible.
That's cool.
That depends. We'll see though.
Right now, you guys are just well. I mean,
Give
already
us
starting.
another 100 episodes and we'll see.
So the goal. I think I said you guys said on the other podcast that you guys have a goal of.
No,
years,
that was
or-
no. It was Steven being a fucking asshole to me.
Oh.
Because I told him I'm trying to get jacked, and he's like, "Oh, it's not working out for you." And then fucking Orlando was like, "Oh, just wait to the 100th episode or something."
Oh,
like that.
okay.
The 100th episode will be titled "Daniel Gets Jacked." We go on. Yeah, he got robbed and he got the shit beat out of him.
Well, that's pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, man, I think this is pretty cool what you guys are doing. I mean, I heard the last two podcasts, and you guys keep going, man.
What about you? Any future plans?
Well,
Well, as a matter of fact, we didn't really properly introduce you. What do you do right now?
so currently, I mean, I was asked to come on as a representative for Sanger Live. That's what we started here in the town that we're in. So basically all we do, is we go out, we anything that goes on, we have radio scanners, we have police scanners, scanners for EMS and firefighters, and anything that's going down pretty much in this town, we do our best to go out there and record it for everybody to see. It's kind of like a news station. The only difference is that we bring it to you as it's happening. So
Hence the live.
yeah, hence the live. So it's really I mean, you see some crazy stuff. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and
Nice.
in that 3 years, I've been, dude, like, I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen bodies, I've seen people bleeding and beaten.
I recall
It's-
you've had to take some content down.
Yeah, actually, one of the first videos that we did, I don't want to really mention too many details on it, but
No name drops are needed.
no, I won't do that. But it was the one of the first ones. It wasn't the very first one, but one of them was a gang-related shooting, and we actually went live for it. And while we were there, family started to arrive. It kind of got hectic. They wanted to go see their loved one, but by the time they got there, he was already pronounced dead. And the very next day, not even the next day. It was actually within an hour. We started getting gang threats, like, you better take it down. We're gonna find you. We know who you are. Blah blah. And so I was like, dude, like, and we barely started off, so I was like, I don't know how to handle this, so I just took it down, and then.
Is it just you running it, or who else?
No, I have my brother. He also runs it with me. His name is Drewski 2011. I'll give his I guess his username.
He's on
or whatever.
PlayStation.
He is on PlayStation. I also have my other brother. He's Rayman 32. He's from Fresno. He actually is trying to start one. We started Fresno Live. We got a pretty good clientele on there. But right now we're putting that to a halt because he's got his family to worry about, some things going on. So we put that one to a halt, and right now we're just working on Sanger Live. So we're going pretty big. If you guys listening out there, check us out. We're on everything. We're on Facebook,
Yeah, give your plugs,
Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter, and it's all Sanger_Live.
Doing
So
a
if you guys-
TikTok on a
Wow.
dead
I
body.
didn't know you guys were on TikTok.
No, dude. If you check out the TikTok, actually, the TikTok is Fresno County Live. That's the general page. That's the goal that we're trying to set because we want to just do more than the city that we're in. So, like, we want to try to hit Sanger, Fresno, Reedley, Salma, anything that's in the central or the Fresno County.
So like 559 live. Pretty
Yeah.
much?
So that's the goal that we're trying to set. So TikTok, we didn't make a Sanger Live, we made it a Fresno County Live. So anything that we get, we put it on there, and you can check it out. It's not like we're just there with a dead body, like oh, we just fool's dead.
Oh,
No,
this is
it's
good
like
content.
that. If anything, that's. I mean, obviously it's not live, but that's more just like news. Like if you ever watch the news, how they do different shots of different angles and stuff. That's basically what that is. So. Yeah, you can check us on all that. So,
I hate TikTok.
oh, I love TikTok. Dude, TikTok's the best, man.
It's either a hit or miss. There's no in between.
I guess
There
I
is
never
gonna be
miss,
between.
Yeah.
huh?
I'll give you that, Steven.
You got a boyfriend. I bet he doesn't miss.
That's
you.
what I was going for.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you
really,
got
man.
that.
Oh man.
So you said you did it 2 or 3 years.
3. Right now we're on 2 years, but we're going on 3.
You're going on 3.
Yeah.
Have you had any issues with the law because of your project?
We're actually here in Sanger. We actually are pretty. We got well known by Sanger PD. We haven't heard too much feedback. At first, it was a little hectic because they didn't know who we were, but as soon as we started to talk to them and get to know them, and like now they're asking us like, hey, like you missed this, you missed that. So they pretty much support what we do. There is one cop, and I ain't afraid to say it, and I hope he's listening. I hope one day he just hears it. But Officer Garcia, I'm throwing his name out there. He hates us for no reason. Like, he thinks it's all about him. He thinks we went out there just to go record him. And
What do you mean?
well, one day I went out. There was something going on in over here on the west side of Sanger, and I went out there, dude. I was like, not even. I was on my lunch break. I was in my uniform, so I guess that's probably where I messed up, on my work uniform. And I had went out there on my lunch break, started recording. He saw me and I saw him, but I didn't think there was any beef or anything like with him. Right at the time, I was like, whatever, like just do what I'm doing. And then the very next day, when I was at work, I had to call Sanger PD out to one of my job sites, and when he was one of the cops that arrived, and when he arrived, the first thing he told me was like, "Hey, how come you could just record me whenever you want to?" And I was like, dude, like, this guy's breaking in over here. Why are you asking me this, man? Like, go take care of your job first, and then we'll talk about it. And
He took it personal then?
yeah, like he did. Like, but I told him, I was like, like, can we talk about this after? Like, I was respectful. I was like, let's talk about it after. But these guys that broke in, they're over there. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, my other guys got it. And so, like, he wanted to talk about it right there. So I told him, I was like, dude, with all due respect, I'm not there for you. Like, you guys are just in the shop, but I wasn't focused on you. I'm recording what's going on, the helicopter, the shooting, everything that was taking place. And then he's like, oh, he goes, yeah, right. He goes, now you're, like, recording our undercover vehicles. And I was like, dude, like, I didn't even know they were undercover vehicles. If anything, you opened your mouth and said that. Now I know that they're undercover vehicles there, and anybody else who watches it. So he was just trying to like, oh, I'm gonna report you to your work. You came in your uniform, and I'm gonna let them know that this and that. And sure enough, like the very next week, my my boss came up to me, told me like, if you're gonna, he didn't get on me. He was just like, if you're gonna record, just make sure you take your uniform off. Don't show, your uniform and stuff. So I was like, all right. He's like, if anything, he told me how to do it without getting caught. So I was like, all right, cool.
You know what I think is funny? He got mad that you were recording him when that's completely legal.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like it goes both ways. The cops can record us and we can record them.
Yeah,
it's completely
exactly.
legal.
So yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I had talked to Sanger PD about it. Like, they asked me like if anybody gives me any crap for it, and I tell them all the time about that officer, and they're like, yeah, dude, just don't listen to him, whatever. I'm not gonna say too much, but they were just like, you're allowed to record. You have the right to do it. It's whatever's in public view, you can do it. So
I can understand that officer, though. I mean, with all these social justice warriors out there, a lot of them are trying to catch cops doing the, like, come on.
No, yeah, it is. I mean, I try to be understanding, but I think what got me more is the fact that I felt more disrespected the way he approached it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, definitely unprofessional.
He came up to me at the wrong time to do it. Like, there was guys breaking into one of my sites. They were on the run, and the first thing he does is come up to me and approaches me about something that happened yesterday that's totally legal. Like, come on, dude. And you're gonna be disrespectful? And so I was like, whatever. You want to do it that way? Then go ahead. And I can still record. So at times, whenever I see him, I zoom in on him. Like, I'm like, that's our number. I sarcastically like, there's our number one fan right there, and he gets pissed off, dude. So it's like,
you should tag him on Facebook in it.
I should, man. I didn't think about that.
Just be like live with Officer Garcia.
So
now, in this project, is it? Are there ways to get monetized for you guys?
Like, what do you mean, like?
Like, do you make any money off of being Sanger?
Are there any ways?
Do you have any sponsors?
We've had a couple of people that came up to us for advertisements. That's pretty much the only way we have. We haven't.
You guys are on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we are on YouTube, but that channel, I mean, right now our biggest clientele is going to be on Facebook. That's like the biggest one where everybody watches. Facebook, we try to get it out there. We get very few views, but it's not as much as Facebook, because I think Facebook on Sanger Live alone we have over 6,000.
Oh wow!
People that watch us, and
How many
like
views
this
do you
entire
guys get?
city.
in a single video, like if I were to go live, let me see, when was it? I think it was, I can't remember what video it was, but we recently went live. Dang it, what was it? I can't remember what it was. I think it was a car accident or something. That video alone, we got, within the first 10 minutes, I think we had like 1.4K views.
Right.
So,
And I get eight
yeah.
views on my fucking gaming channels like in 2 weeks.
Dude, it takes time, dude, because I remember when we first started, I mean, the first 6 months, dude, it was like seriously like 10 or 12 Like even now, when we go live now, dude, like everyone gets notified, we'll get like 600 people watching at one time, and it's like, dang, dude, like it's a
Must be
trip
nice.
to watch that. It is, dude. It
When
really
I go
is,
live,
man.
I get fucking 4 people.
Also, I want to clear something up real quick. I was thinking about it. It's not Officer Garcia. It's Officer Garza. That's who it was. Garza.
Garza, if you listen to this,
Yeah.
don't shoot me. Don't
Garcia.
shoot
If there
me.
is an Officer Garcia, I don't think there is. I'm sorry, but it was Officer Garza. That's who it was.
All right.
Cheers to Officer Garza.
So what made you guys blow up? You said it took you about 6 months.
Yeah. The biggest ones that we had at first, after we started doing like car accidents and stuff, people were hitting us up about football games. They were like, "Can you guys go live for a football game?" We thought about it and we were like, dang, if we go live for a football game, that's literally like 15 minutes a quarter. And that's not including the timeouts and the clock stopping and everything. So we tried it and it just didn't work. You know, our batteries didn't last that long and the video content was terrible. But that one I think was the most views we got because we actually had people from all over watching us. Like we had like 3 people from like Arizona messaging us. They're like, hey, we're watching from Arizona. Like giving shout outs and everything. We're like, dang, like, dude, like this is like popping, dude. Like people are watching. That's when we had like 600 views. And that once we did that, we noticed that because that was the time when we were when Sanger was going to the state champions. Like we were undefeated the whole game until we got to the final championship game and we lost.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was the time that we started. So we started going live once we won the championship here locally, and then we moved on to state. That's when we started going live. But that's when people started following us. We got like that alone. I think we got like maybe half of what we got right now.
So it wasn't always involving like crimes and
No,
all that.
but we kind of stopped doing like football games and stuff because it was just there's no way. Like one, we have work. I mean, it's just me and my brother here in town, and we have work, and some of the work that we have actually includes going to the games. So it just wasn't gonna work. So we kind of stopped doing the school thing, and then we didn't want to have to mess with the whole you're recording underage children, you know, like parents getting mad because they're live. So we just there's people here in town, other medias that do it. We just leave it to them. So we didn't want to collide with them. So now we just pretty much touch on crime, anything that's going on, missing animals is another thing we do too. People hit us up a lot about that.
Really?
And we're happy to say that because we do that, we've actually had a lot of pets that returned home. Like
Really?
people tell us, yeah, like they'll send us pictures, we show them, and like within a day, man, oh, we got him back. People saw your post, and we're like, cool. So that dog or cat's home safe.
You know, actually, me and Moses rescued a dog once when we were together because of Singer Live.
Oh, at the Wilson, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were at Wilson, and this dog ran up to us, and he posted a picture of it on his Facebook page for Singer Live.
It was
Within
quick too, like within
15
an
to
hour.
30 minutes,
Yeah.
I think even.
The owner's like, you stole
Got-
my dogs.
No, I think it was the owner's grandpa or something, or
Yeah,
the
something
owner's
like that
uncle.
because they weren't home.
Yeah, they came and got the dog for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we actually rescued a dog because of Singer Live.
That's a good public service, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is. We teamed up with I think it's called Sanger's Pets. I think it is. They
Singer
actually.
Pet- oh, yeah,
They
that-
actually their
that's another
purpose
page.
and focus.
Singer's
is
Lost
actually,
Pets, I think.
Yeah, if they find any missing animals, they'll do it. The craziest one they had was the missing goldfish. They actually got away.
How do you?
I was trying to see if they believe it, bro.
How do you do? I was like, how does that?
You're going through the fucking sewers.
God damn it, Nemo!
No, he's there, no, but yeah, that page does pretty good here in town too. So shout out to them because they're really bringing a lot of animals home. It's unfortunate for the ones that they report dead already because they get a lot of those too. But
Yeah, but at least the Asians are eating well.
oh my god, I am not affiliated with that. That's Steven's joke, not mine. But yeah.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
I won't eat dog. I won't eat
Kind
dog.
of random, but when do the football games start again?
Well, football's in the fall.
I think it's October, right?
So late August, early
November?
September.
Oh, September.
It's
yeah,
right
you know what,
after
you're
school
right.
starts.
I think it is September.
I want to work them again. I enjoy them.
You like working the football games?
Yeah.
I see. I've never worked a football games
Because,
there.
well, for me, when I first did it, I was just watching a stupid gate,
Uh-huh.
standing there for like 5 hours.
What else do they do? I thought that's all they
scan
did.
people.
Yeah, I had to do the
Oh,
one.
you
But the
scan
good thing
people
about
in?
being a scanner, you only scan them for a certain time, and you're just literally just chilling for the rest of the game.
He's like, ma'am, I'm
Oh,
gonna
really?
have to strip search you.
You have to seriously, you seriously like when you're doing that, you're only scanning the first quarter. Then after that, everyone else just.
You know, speaking about those games, because I was on one side of the gate where they said, scan only the men. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sexist, these fucking bastards. But then when I went to the other guards, they were scanning only the women. I was like, oh, all right, we're good.
Well, it's some form of randomization, but I don't know about that.
Have
That's
there
kinda
been any
weird.
female like school shooters, or not even school shooters, but
I'm
Let's
sure
look
there
'em up.
have, but it doesn't really fit the media's agenda. What fits their agenda and gets views by statistically is
guy from Florida.
white shooters
white shooters?
generally. I mean, if a black person does a shooting, you generally don't hear about it just because it doesn't sell as well on the internet. It doesn't fuel people's rage as much.
And on that note, white people are popular.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened. I mean, not all school shootings go viral. It also depends on what happens. Like, if they shoot up a school but they don't kill anybody, that's not really interesting to the media because they're like,
I don't know any like incel women though. Like incels tend to be male.
wait,
That's racist.
Involuntary
sexist.
celibates. No, that's not sexist.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Freaking-
I don't know the stats on it, but more often than not, mass shooters are probably more likely to be men. Because,
fuck.
well, because I
Ladies, don't
mean,
touch 'em.
generally
Is it
men.
genetics?
I think. I mean, I could be wrong. This is just what I think. I think men are more into weapons than women, and they tend to be more violent. I think that's just their genetics.
Should we talk about the shooting range we all went to?
The shooting range.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, we all.
And
did
fucking
go.
Steven made Mo and Lando pay for the.
Oh,
ammo.
dude, man, I was like, me and Randall looked at each other like,
Wait, what?
fool.
Wait, what happened? I don't
No,
remember.
I don't
What?
think he did it on purpose. I think it was just
No, because we finished it up, and then he asked, "Should we get more?" And you guys were all like, "No." Then like 2 minutes later, he comes back and like, "Here."
You came back with like 3 more boxes, and we were like, all right,
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna split it. And we're like, we told you no. We're like, what the heck? So we ended up I didn't even get to pay my rent that month.
He'd rather go shooting than pay his rent, guys.
Second Amendment, guys.
You gotta love it. America.
America.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I do remember that was a good time.
You guys hear that? You guys hear it?
A little bit, but we can talk over it.
Yeah.
What is it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. It sounds like a little beep.
Where's it coming from?
Monotone beep.
Yeah, you can take off your headset.
You hear it?
We're still going. We're still. Oh, it just stopped, and we're good, and we're back. Yeah, okay. Anyways,
I didn't hear anything.
well then again, I don't have a headset. That's probably
Oh,
why.
it's back.
Oh, yeah, that's back.
It's outside.
Eh,
All
it's
right. Well,
whatever.
I'm sure we won't hear it in the editing processing. You hear it? You hear it now? Do you?
No, I don't hear anything.
We'll get rid of it. It's fine. It'll be fine off the mics. It's something outside.
All right, we're good. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about guns in America.
And you making them pay for your ammo boxes.
That's the American way, the capitalist way.
That's so bad, Steven.
What?
We
The
didn't,
capitalist way?
Yeah.
I remember.
That sounds like a socialist way.
I remember I wanted.
We're gonna be equal. No, that's
Steven!
communist.
Damn it! I remember I wanted Moses to record a video of me shooting the gun, and then he did. And when I looked at it, I was already done.
It was a video of the gun already like that. Like that was not even the bang, bro. Like,
Hey, so what is your first experiences with like guns as far as like going to a shooting range? you
honestly,
know?
it's with you guys. That's the first time I ever
Really?
shot a gun. Yeah, that was.
How
the
did you
very first
feel?
time. I was a little nervous. I've never shot one before, so I didn't know what to expect. But once you shoot the first one, it's like, dang, like, like to me, I realized, like, dude, I have the power, and like right now to do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Like, not to. I mean, I'm not to say I was going. I'm not Steven, you know. I'm gonna actually do something like that. But like, it's just like, dude, like, a lot of people have this power, like to, you know.
Hey, I'm just
you
putting
wanna
this
go-
out there. Out of all four of us, I'm the only one that owns a gun, and I still haven't shot anybody yet.
And you know
I
how
have
much that
access
works.
to
it.
A lot
And
of
I'm not
us-
gonna shoot anybody.
You probably will.
I would never.
You're gonna shoot one of us.
Never. The only way I would ever shoot someone is if it was in self-defense.
I don't think so, buddy.
Bro, you
No,
are,
guns are too traced and they're too connected with
I'm just
like federal agencies.
They are. My gun is tied to my social security and
Yeah.
everything with a serial number. Like,
just waiting
if
for
you
that-
look me
that
up,
live video.
like when I do a background, when I do a background check
Steven's
or
gonna be
anything,
drunk
it-
and naked. Ah!
his mom on the floor.
hey,
That's
you
what I
guys gotta stop
want.
getting silly. Hey, listen.
He wanted to
Whenever,
become Eminem.
hey, listen. Whenever I do a background
He's
check,
getting
it
mad.
pops up on my background check that I own a weapon, and it shows all the ammo that I've purchased ever since that new law went into effect in July. It shows everything about me. That's
Fucking
how.
Democrats, man.
That's how much they watch our guns.
That does not change the fact that it still worries me.
He can
have
worry you
a
all
gun.
you want, but you have nothing to be afraid of. If anything, you'll be
mom on the
protected.
floor.
Dude, I'm seriously waiting. Okay, one white male in his home. Dead female.
Moses, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that's going to give you some reassurance. Pretty soon, I'm going to get my CCW, and it's going to go with me everywhere.
That's
So you're going to be
not-
That
protected at all
doesn't.
times.
That just makes me more scared that someone else out there will get in the way of your bullet.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I was talking to my parents about getting a CCW, and my dad was kind of upset with me. He's like, he thought that it was going to make it easier for me to shoot somebody. I'm like, no, like, that's not true. I understand where he would get that idea that maybe you'll get the balls to, like, just because you have it,
Right.
but I don't know. I think I convinced him that it was okay to have a CCW, but, I don't know. He didn't like the idea of it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
anyways,
That's that. I mean, I can understand that because like that. Like I said, that feeling when I shot it, it hit me like, dude, like. I could like. I mean, not to say I was gonna do it, but it's just like I could totally turn this on somebody right now if I wanted to. It's in my hands. If I wanted somebody dead and I was really down to do it and I really wanted to, I could do it right now.
You're starting to worry me
That's
now.
what trips me out. No, like
no,
that's
I
just,
get his thinking.
That's what trips
it's,
me out.
It's
It's
all
like-
about the responsibility.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, of course, I joke with Steven, but Steven has that power. Like he's legally allowed to carry that and go anywhere he wants with it. And if he's down, if he gets mad, whatever, I don't know. I mean, he could do it if he wants to. That's what I'm saying. Like he has the ability to do it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Anyways, we heard Moses' first experience with a gun. What about you two? When was the first time you guys either held, shot, whatever, a gun?
It was when we went to that shooting range for me.
Really?
That was my first time doing it. And I was a pro. I was doing trick shots and everything. Backflips and
But you were a Kermit the
spinning
Bullet?
it and everything.
Oh my spinning it with
Some
it's a
infinite
loaded-
warfare
like that.
stuff.
You didn't even have a holster.
So, before we get off topic, how would you feel shooting it, Daniel? Was it what you were expecting? Anything
I
different?
regret not pointing it at you.
Oh,
Oh my
dang.
gosh.
No, I enjoyed it. It was actually pretty fun, you know. People go there to practice like their aim and stuff. I just wanted to fucking shoot it. It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's what my
Oh, yeah.
focus was, just to shoot it.
What about you, Orlando? What was your first experience with a weapon?
I believe I discussed this already before, but pretty much my dad gave me I think it was a 38 to shoot.
How old were you?
I think I was 13. He gave it to me, but it was just to show me how dangerous a gun was. But after that, I haven't really touched a gun until I went to the range with my sister.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it was a couple years ago. And when we went, I grabbed that 9mm, and every time that I was shooting it, like I was closing my eyes. So I know.
Orlando, you can't fear your weapon. You need to control it.
Well, it's because it blows all those shells back, and then some of them went in between like the glasses that they give you, and it's like
It just happens sometimes.
it does. But
You know, my experience with weapons is way different than your guys'. The first time I ever held a gun, I was 5 years old.
5.
Yeah. My grandpa let me hold his unloaded pistol, and he was teaching me all about guns and how
holding it
how
backwards.
dangerous they are and how
That's-
they're tools and not toys.
that's good. See, I think that's good
the
to know.
first, I mean, the first real weapon I feel like, because this was just some lightweight pistol. The first time I really held a weapon that I thought was cool, when I was in late elementary, early middle school, my grandpa brought
took it to
So
show and tell.
summer?
Took it to show and tell.
So summer break? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, I'm going to come back to a story that kind of goes around that. Anyways, onward.
Anyways, I'm gonna start over. So the first time I ever held like a real weapon was I was probably in late elementary, early middle school, and my grandpa brought home an M1 Garand from World War II, and that thing is way heavier than it looks. It's like a good probably 50, no, not even 50 pounds. It just felt like it was 50 pounds, but it was heavy. And that thing is hard to aim too. Like, I can't believe people took that into World War II and were just like, you know, like,
You actually shot it?
no, he didn't. We weren't shooting it because it was going into a museum.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta hold it. I gotta aim with it. Look at it. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then the first time I ever shot a gun, I was in probably 8th or 9th grade. We went out to my uncle's farm, and we were shooting at the squirrels, and we shot some small hunting rifles at them.
That's cool.
What's wrong with you?
What do you mean? They're rodents.
You're a rodent.
Of
So you
course
have
I
a good
am.
amount of times where you've actually shot guns before the time that we all went.
Oh, yeah. I'd actually never shot a pistol before I got my own pistol. But as far as rifles go, I've shot rifles since 9th grade consistently.
Oh, okay.
Dude, your pistol's
That's
such
pretty
a beauty.
Yeah, I really like your gun. Your gun's tight.
For you guys that don't know, I have a 1911 Springfield 9mm stainless steel pistol. It's a pretty
It loo-
badass gun.
It looks like something that somebody in, what's that Mexican gang, M13 or whatever the fuck? would have.
Oh,
It looks like the pistol from Call of Duty, basically the
Ops
iconic
1?
1911 from Call of Duty.
Well, which one? There's like many versions. Black Ops 1 is like a silver. Black Ops 2 is...
Well, I told you it's stainless steel and it's a 1911. 1911s only look like one thing.
Oh, you cuck.
Well, speaking
And I
of
mean,
show
you've
and
seen
tell,
the pistol.
Show and tell.
speaking of show and
Steven
tell,
took it to show and tell.
no.
I hope you didn't.
When I was in kindergarten, I had a BB gun.
Oh,
My
no.
dad bought me a BB gun, and they would have you bring shit for like show and tell in there. So, anyways, I brought it to school.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh.
My dad didn't know that I took it. Like,
Oh my
what's
gosh.
one of those? No,
Penal
one of-
code violations up the ass right there.
No, but dude, I remember my teacher was a bitch, dude. She took it away from me, and then she had me stay in for recess at the time, and I just remember her like pushing me, telling me that I couldn't do that, and she was pushing me.
Then
Mrs.
you
her
shot
name
her.
her name is Mrs.
No, no.
Barner. Mrs. Barner, that fucking cunt.
What
dude.
school was this?
Centerville Elementary.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
There's only one school out there.
Well, where else did you think he was gonna go to school?
But my point is that he threw... Never mind. Can we edit this out? No, I'm joking. Oh, man.
No, but after those shovings from that teacher, that fucking bitch, you can't do that. But after that, I learned that you can't bring guns to school.
I wonder why.
You
God
come
you
to school
learned.
and you start shooting the kids. What? I can't do that. I never learned that in school. You get acquitted because you weren't properly taught.
Nobody said anything in school that you couldn't do that, so I brought it to show and tell.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
You're lucky
in
that's all they did.
considering you were in kindergarten, if I was your teacher, I would have taken it away and I would have talked to you one-on-one, like, "Hey, can't bring these things to school. They're dangerous. I'll give it to your parents at the end of the day."
She
You-
was
okay,
shoving
I-
me, dude.
And I would explain to your parents, "Look, he didn't know. He wasn't trying to be a bad kid. You know."
I just want to make sure we're clear. What did you bring again?
A BB gun. One of those hand...
You're lucky.
She brought
I'm
it.
being serious.
Oh, yeah,
You're
you're
really lucky.
very
That's all they
lucky.
did, man.
You are very lucky because you could get in a lot
Dude,
of
that's
trouble.
crazy.
You
Like,
can't be
I
an
would have been like,
adult.
"Don't, Orlando, put it down."
Fucking cops come
Yeah,
out.
seriously, I would have called the cop, man. Heck no, I would have done more than push. I think she had a right to push you.
It's a... Okay, it's a generational thing. If it happened nowadays...
Oh, yeah. that-
Well, if it happened now, you'd be on an FBI watch list. You'd be going to therapy,
Yep.
You'd be raped. No,
maybe in prison.
Orlando in prison getting raped. Imagine that.
That's why I don't do serious crimes,
I'd
because I'm not
rather
going.
not.
I'm not going to prison, man.
He says that now.
No, dude. And even if I did go to prison, I would be that one psycho guy that like when they'd make me get on my knees, I'd just bite that fucking dick off. You're not gonna hurt me after I bit your fucking dick off.
Wow.
I mean, they're gonna
So
kill you
disrespectful.
if you did that.
How are you gonna do that without your dick?
I mean, they're gonna.
This is
Those are some of the toughest of the toughest criminals in there.
all
This
right.
is why I'm gonna be good and not go to prison, so I don't have to decide those things.
Ditto. Yeah, no. I agree with you, man.
Yeah, Moses actually wants to be a cop. He wants to be the person who puts them in prison.
I just want to do it so I can get front view on my Singer Live. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just play.
No, Moses wants to bring right to this world.
I do. Thank you, Steven. And I'm starting with you. I'm checking you out first. You're the first guy I'm going to check out.
Background check.
He's all 5150.
Every time I start my shift, I'm going to your house first. Like,
New
you
York's-
all right?
New York stop and frisk.
It's all like, I'm fine. And then you see my head twitch.
Your mom's feet right there behind the stairway. just right
Have,
there, like, oh, God.
have you seen John Wick, Moses?
No, I haven't. People
Oh my
talk
gosh.
about
There's
it.
a cop in those movies who knows what John does. And he just treats it like nothing's happening because he understands what John Wick is. And like in the first one, he knocks on the door and he looks over and sees like 3 dead bodies. He's like, "You working again, John?" He goes, "No, just tying up some loose ends." He's like, "All right, well, you have a good night, John," and then he leaves. That would be Moses with me. He just looks and he's like, "You all right,
Man,
Steven?"
I wasn't here.
Well, the problem is you'll never be anything like John.
Oh, I don't intend to.
You'd be a serial killer.
And
I
this-
would not be
He's
a
gonna be
serial
in
killer.
shorts and a
He's
red
like-
shirt.
He's like Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver.
Honestly-
Talking to me?
Honestly, I would rather be an arsonist than a serial killer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, that's not getting edited. That's proof.
No, if I had to commit, if they told me you have to commit some kind of major felony, I'd do arson on a church.
I would be like,
And then I would
oh, we're gonna start now. No.
and then I would make a Facebook page and tag pictures of it with all my religious friends on Facebook.
Oh, no.
Okay, what church?
Let's see, what would hit the hardest in Sanger? Probably the Catholic Church, St. Mary's.
Okay.
Pedophiles.
Disclaimer: I'm not actually gonna do that.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for a Catholic church and singer to go up now.
Sing your live.
I'm sorry, but
I'm gonna say, check out this podcast. You
hey,
guys get
no,
views.
arson is not an easy crime to get away with, so I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm just kidding.
It actually is very easy. I found ways.
I'm
But I'm not gonna
you
do 'em.
have. I'm sure you have,
Oh,
Moses.
okay, would you guys consider arson if you threw like a cigarette butt inside of a trash can? I was in Ridley one time, and I was going into a Rite Aid, and I was smoking a cigarette. And then I didn't finish it. I thought I put it out, but I didn't. And I threw it in a trash can. Then it set on fire. Then I was inside of Rite Aid, and they're like, "Oh, the trash can's on fire. Is that considered arson?"
It is
Yeah.
considered arson, but it's not a felony because you didn't intentionally try to set it on fire and you didn't cause a lot of damage.
Dude, it's
It would be a misdemeanor. if
It's so
you
easy.
were-
Check, this is how this is how ridiculous it is. So I was working a shift in Fresno one time, and it's actually happened not long ago. It happened like maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was on my way to another site, and I noticed that there was a dumpster on fire. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. I thought it was the apartments because I saw flames from behind a wall, and there was apartments right next to it. So I was like, "Oh shoot! I think those apartments are on fire." So I went around. It turns out it was just a dumpster, but the flames were getting bigger. So Fresno Fire Department comes out, no cops, spray it down and take off.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Like that's
Well, because
they didn't investigate. I mean, they didn't even look.
Well, it's
to
a small.
see what
It's a
it
small
was.
fire. It's not a major like.
But I mean,
Because it was probably started by a homeless person trying to keep warm. That's why they don't care.
but still, like I mean, that could have like. I mean,
If it turned into something bigger, yeah, there'd be an investigation. Like if it burnt down a whole building, yeah, there'd be an investigation. But because it was just a small trash fire, I mean, they don't
I
care.
don't know. I guess it's just like it just tripped me out. Like, wow, you just sprayed it down and that's it. Like you're not gonna really try to see what. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a little trash for him.
Dude, I panicked when I was in that Rite Aid, and then they said over the thing that there was a fire, and I just bolted. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Old lady on the floor.
Move, bitch! Move, bitch! You don't have much time left, anyways.
Dude, I freaked out the other day, man, because I was working, and one of my supervisors tells me to watch out for an arson. He's been going around setting fires on some of the sites that I do. And I got called out to one of a different site. So I'm on my way to that site, and I pass one of the sites that they were telling me to keep an eye out for. And dude, there was smoke coming from that area. And I smelled it, and I was like, oh, shoot. But I'm en route to this call. So I call it in, and I'm like, I think there's a fire in that area, so check it out. They didn't find nothing, man. It turned out it was right next door. I guess the person that was setting fire to our sites, he tried to get in, but didn't, and set it right outside. And I was like, dang, man. Like, so lucky that it didn't catch the school, because I would have just driven right by and not done anything about it besides called, the ones that are in charge of it. But as a trip, dude, like, I was like, dang, man. Stupid fires.
What school was it?
Um,
Do you remember or no?
Name drop.
It was an elementary school. I was saying sites, and he said it.
What's the issue? We already name dropped Centerville. I mean,
Oh, fair
I
enough.
guess so. Delmar.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's just a trip, dude. Arsonists are crazy.
I remember working at remember Tangerine Hills?
You
Oh,
brought that up,
yes.
man. That's when you said my name.
Mr. Nathan.
Oh, Nate.
Okay, speaking of, you guys did a terrible impression of him.
I think we did a pretty good
It's-
job at capturing him.
It goes, okay, hold on. It's like this.
All right, let's hear your impression.
Oh, hey, guys.
Nah,
What
that's
do you guys do?
horrible.
No,
Oh, come
no,
on,
that's
really?
horrible.
No,
Oh,
you
no,
guys did
hold on.
terrible.
Hold on. I think we all equally did bad, but his was pretty bad right now.
Oh, my
Like,
God.
because you're not putting enough voice in the back of your throat.
You're not stoned enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is he a stoner?
Probably. I mean,
I don't
he's
think he is.
slow.
Nate, I think you're a good guy, Nate.
No, he's not retarded. He's
pretty
just
fast.
slow.
But yeah,
You're a fast guy.
I heard you tell the story. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
I just the last thing I remember was me.
I put you up to it.
Last
Hey,
thing, I don't know if I was
maybe
doing
he's so fast, and that's why they broke
Steven.
up.
Steven, you're over here telling me I can't talk over you. Fucking hypocrite. Fucking piece of shit.
He's a Democrat. Leave him alone.
Damn.
Fuck him. I'm gonna kill him right now after this podcast.
Social justice warrior over here.
Hey, that's a threat.
But anyway, I remember doing a report and I just hear in the corner of my. Well, I just hear inside of me, security, help, security, security. And it was just you just like limping towards me.
Hey, this is off topic, but remember when I was scared you with the clown?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, what happened, man?
He
So,
would have been dead.
Wait, with Joe's. With
yeah.
Joe? Oh.
But it was your sister that did it, because I think this is when you guys were still working at your pizza place, right?
It's a place.
Me and Ed's under Frank. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
okay, well there. And
Singer 2, Division 23.
and your sister came over, and we were like, dude, like Daniel's coming, like what do we do? So I dressed her up in all of my clothes, but like all black, so she was all baggy in it, and I would put the clown head on, and we waited for him. Dude, it was so hilarious. Joanna started walking out, and then what did you say? You were like back up, or like, can I help you, or something like that? I can't
No,
remember.
because she chuckled. I was like, why are you laughing? Take off the mask. Take off the mask.
Dude, he went into the car. He grabbed the window cover.
Okay.
All flapping around. He's gonna hit her with it, dude.
Why are you trying to reason with somebody with the fucking clown mask?
And I'm over here on the side of the house. Like,
No,
watching
because
it,
I
dude.
got out of the car and immediately I got pissed off. I was like, "Are you fucking gotta deal with this crap right now? Are you serious?" So that's why I got all pissed. I was like, "I'm not having it."
not having it.
It's you
Oh,
or
dude,
me,
that was
pal.
so great, man.
I don't know. I had a plan with that freaking cover though. I was gonna if the clown had like a knife, I can be able to like block it with it, use
Yeah.
it, and or just run up and cover it and just start. Pop, pop, pop.
I was trying to prevent, like, I didn't want it to happen, like, cause I was like, dude, he's gonna wail on your sister hard, dude. He really got into a defense mode with that cover, though, man. I was like, dang.
Take off the mask.
Yeah, dude, I was like, oh god.
What's so funny?
Man, it sounds like a Jim Carrey
What's
movie.
so funny?
A Jim Carrey movie? How so?
He said, "Take off the mask."
Is anybody telling jokes? Do I look funny to you? What are you laughing at? Trying to find out what's so
Who
hilarious.
played the lead role for the woman? And was it Cameron Diaz
And
For what?
what?
for The Mask?
Yeah. it was Cameron.
Dude,
Oh, it was Fiona.
I was sprung on her.
Dude, so was I in Charlie's Angels.
I haven't seen Charlie's Angels.
Dude, kid.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, we only watch talent.
Oh.
Well, to be fair, you're on TikTok watching silly memes.
Apparently they don't
It's
work
more
with
talented than
somebody
anything you've
else's
ever
answer.
produced.
We're producing this. This is comedy gold compared to any...
Comedy Gold, we make like 3 people laugh and 2 people go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Not
That's
me,
my
I
point.
make everybody laugh. I make Daniel laugh and I'm just sitting here, bro.
I know, you guys need to quit it. That's not good for our viewers. All they're hearing is laughing.
No,
and they're
that's
like, "What the
good.
fuck?"
That's
Yeah, it is. But it's very true what you said earlier, dude. Like, do not put us together. Because for some reason, we just...
I always know what he's laughing at.
Because you guys are both
that's
immature.
exactly
That's what it is.
It's like we know... Like, something stupid happens, all I gotta do is look at him and he's just like, I know, I saw it too. And
Like
it's
at the wedding, like
it's,
it's a combination of Steven and the other guy.
Okay, Orlando,
you
we
didn't
gotta
make any
take over
sense.
this
You didn't make any
podcast.
sense at all.
bro, it was just so... I'm laughing more at the fact that he got so defensive about it. Like, I understand he's capable of lifting things. I mean, he's not weak.
Right.
But the fact that he thought that
I didn't think
he's
I know.
stronger than us, like, oh,
I
I'll
am.
take you all down. Come on, bro.
That's horrible.
Like, get real.
Oh, I am. I did beat Daniel in combat once.
Oh,
Bro, you got
no.
passed.
Oh, okay, hold on. I would like to say he says he's stronger, but I was choking him
You know
out.
what?
Like, what are you talking
No,
about?
I beat you in combat. You submitted.
Steven, you were
you know
turning,
what?
you were
That-
turning purple and you were on the floor.
I was not.
The only reason he got away from you is because you cupped his
Keep going. You're good. You're good.
balls and cock.
Oh my god.
I didn't think you were going to use those words.
No. You don't understand. He put his arm around my neck, so I did the next best thing. I put my hand around his dick, and he gave up and surrendered.
That's not him
It's
giving
showing
you
dominance.
admitting to grabbing another man's deal.
Well, I mean, Orlando's the only one left.
What?
What does that mean?
I'm just kidding.
Hey, you.
Wait, what?
The only thing I remember from that day was I pants him, and then Orlando's like, dude, it looks like a pharaoh.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, I was so shocked.
Manscaped, if you can hear us, let's hook my brother up over here with with your lawnmower 2.0.
Anyways,
man.
what I mean by what I said was there was one time where I looked at Moses and I was like, "Hey, I bet you won't let me get to your..." Like, I put my hand on his thigh. I said, "Hey, I bet you won't let me get closer," or whatever. And he took my bet, and neither one of us had stopped.
That's so gay.
It was the game of
Gay chicken?
well, I guess that too, but it was
It was
Nervous.
basically-
You guys ever heard of that
was
game,
it-
Nervous?
Yeah, like I was gonna see
No.
how nervous he got by reaching
It's usually
my hand.
intended for guy and girl. Like you start from the forehead all the way down until someone says nervous. And
I'm
you-
sorry, what?
Yeah, it's an elementary game, dude. Like
No,
the kids
I
play
thought
this
I
game.
thought they started on the leg.
But anyways,
well, I guess you can
I was
start
on
anywhere,
his. I
but-
started on his inner thigh, I guess.
I didn't think he
and
was like
I thought he was
okay,
gonna say stop
okay.
before I got there,
I should talk about this
but
because
he didn't.
I had an experience in 7th grade.
Oh no!
I was next to this Asian chick, and she asked me, "You want to play the nervous game?" And I was like, "What the hell is that?" She's like, "I will show you. You do this. You go up the thigh, and you keep going towards the middle until they say nervous." Now, jokes on her. I never said nervous because I wanted to.
Look at Daniel. He was a slut in middle school. He's a slut now.
I've only played that game once, and it was with Steven, and he went for it.
To be fair, you didn't say stop.
That's not making it look any better for you, man. You
Where
should've
no
gotten
means
nervous.
yes, yes means harder, and banana means stop.
The definition of rape. Wait, what? Banana.
Banana means stop.
Is that like your
I thought it
what's
was a fruit.
Isn't that a safe word or
That's a
something?
stripper name.
that's your safe word?
No, I don't
Banana?
know. It's not mine. It's just that's a safe word.
Banana.
I'd say something that you're not gonna. Well, I mean, if you're in bed, you're not gonna be using the word banana. Well, stick your banana in me. Oh, that's a safe word.
Oh my gosh, man.
What do you want me to say? The fitness gram pacer test or
A fitness gram pacer test.
it's a multi-stage aerobic capacity test?
Oh, that's a safe word.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Oh my god, man.
Did a weird face and I don't know. Just started laughing.
Yeah, those are good times, man. We had a lot of good times, guys. And we only been friends for like what? How long? Like 3 years?
About 2 days.
Dang.
Oh,
That's a long 2 days.
Dude, isn't it funny that the only reason that you and I actually became friends is because
Is
it
that me?
was no.
Religion and UFOs?
It was more about the UFOs.
Yeah.
I was in a dark time though, and we
I'm
spoke about
interested.
religion.
What happened?
All right, so the way it started was me and
was
my
like-
wife. We pulled up to me and Ed's, and I think was it your sister?
I think my sister. I'm
Your sister
not sure if
and-
Omar, but maybe
Yeah,
Omar
they
and
they were all
Marina.
outside talking because they had just closed up. We were all outside talking, and somebody started talking. Oh, I think it was your sister. She brought up religion. She brought up like what she's been going through and stuff. So I started talking to her about it, and then you pulled up, and then when you pulled up, we had started talking about like it's weird. Like you guys have to understand like the conversation to get it, but it literally went from religion to UFOs, like aliens and stuff. Don't ask me how, but it did. And when he pulled up, we were talking on that subject, and I guess Orlando was just interested in that subject. So you had actually had plans to go somewhere else, right? Because you said you were just driving by, you saw us out there, and you were actually going somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going to Little Rock and Sanger.
And then we stayed talking there, and once that topic came up, dude, he like got out of his car. He was like, "All right, we're gonna talk about this." I was like, "Oh shoot, man, it's on." So we started talking, and that was the start, dude. Like then we were like,
that actually helped.
I'd love to hear what your guys' opinions on that are.
on
On
UFOs or religion.
UFOs.
I believe UFOs exist. I don't believe aliens do.
Well, of course UFOs exist. Whenever you don't know what's in the air, it's called an unidentified flying
Yes,
object.
but when somebody talks about UFOs, they immediately thought of flying saucers and stuff, and that's not what I think it is.
I think that's just a stereotype.
I don't think that we're the only like source of life on this universe.
I agree.
So-
I think there is life out there, but I don't think there's human out there. I think we're the only human beings on this earth and in this, I guess, galaxy or whatever you want to call it, universe.
Yeah. Well, think of it like a like a species. We're just another species here.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, the necessity for all known life is water. And the conditions that provide both water and other stuff that we need, whether it be oxygen, things like that, they generally don't exist in such a perfect way as they do here anywhere else in the universe. Now, I'm not saying that it can't exist anywhere else in the universe, because there's a big part of the universe we haven't even discovered yet, because we can only see the observable universe. But it is very unlikely that this same specific set of circumstances happens anywhere else in the universe.
I do like the idea of a multiverse. There's other universes with like a different version of us.
And that just goes beyond me, dude. That fucks
That-
with me.
That's hard. Yeah, that's a crazy one, dude. I don't know about that. I mean, it would be. To me, I like the thought of it, but to believe that it exists, I don't know. I can't. I don't see how it would. I don't see how it's possible.
Imagine a better Daniel or a darker Daniel.
Or damn,
that
Daniel.
means there's millions, man.
There's millions.
There's millions of us out there. That's
could be only
that's
one.
what's trip. Like that's
when I
what
first heard of, how old were you when you first heard of that?
Shoot, maybe.
First time I
I'm
ever
trying
heard
to
of
think
the
back. Maybe
multiverse
I think it
theory.
was a senior year in high school.
Senior year? I was too young. My cousin Luis exposed me to that shit. Like he was just talking to me and my dad outside. He came over. He works in the IRS. He's fucking smart. But that's not why he's smart. But he.
It has to be now.
Oh yeah, he knows how to take your taxes.
Who wouldn't believe that, man?
No, but he tried explaining that to me, but he tried to simplify it with like an orange. I don't remember exactly what he said.
What did he
but
just slice up an orange and say this is us, and then these next to it are other parallel universes?
No,
That's what I got.
he was trying
That's
to.
what I was thinking when he said
It's
that.
an orange, but each one's different in its size.
He asked me if I ever thought that there was a perfect orange, and I'm like, no. Like, as far as shape and taste and everything goes, I mean, that's how he got into that.
So we live in oranges.
Logically speaking, the
You
perfect
obviously-
orange could exist.
What?
With the amount of oranges we produce per year, there's bound to be the perfect orange, just statistically.
I don't know.
Because
We have
our
one.
sample size is
Let me
extremely
know.
large. Well, I'm not saying we'll ever see it or find
I
it,
would like one.
but it's likely that it has or will exist because of the large sample size of oranges. And not even just the U.S. in the world.
Why are we talking about oranges?
Because Orlando brought up oranges as being a
Parallel
No,
way
I
for
get
the
what you're saying.
parallel universe.
That's actually pretty good. What do you call it? Logic? Would logic be the correct term?
Well, logic deals with it like induction
Analogy?
and reasoning.
Okay, analogy.
whereas
There you go. Let's go analogy.
What
So-
his
so-
theory isn't really on logic; it's more on theory.
Yeah, I think it's all theory right here now. I mean,
That's hence why it's called a theory.
yeah.
Well, no, like there's theory, which is usually something that can't necessarily be proven, but has some kind of evidence to back it up. And then there's the area of theory, which is something we don't know anything about.
Well,
that
what's-
we just hypothesize.
What's the evidence for multi-universe? Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What's the theory on that? I mean, the
Well, it's
evidence
just,
on that.
It's just a theory right now. We don't have a lot
So
of.
there is no evidence.
There's not none, but there isn't sufficient.
So what evidence do they have that's
It's not none, dude.
Well, one of the biggest working theories on it is if you decide whether to eat breakfast or go to work without eating breakfast, what if there's another universe where you ate breakfast?
So is there a
versus-
universe where there is evidence on this?
Well, like I said, we don't have any concrete evidence. It's just a theory right now. It's not like gravity.
But is there a universe that has this evidence?
The only universe we know of is our own.
Or the way to create other universes if we time travel.
Time travel is not physically possible.
I think time travel is possible.
Well, that's always
in order to
that's
time
theory.
travel, you would have to go faster than infinity.
I think time travel is possible, but I don't think it's. This is my brother's theory, and actually makes pretty good sense. I mean, but I think that if
Wait,
they were
which
to,
brother?
This is my oldest brother.
Ray?
Thank you for throwing his name out there.
I mean, you already said his name.
I didn't. Oh, Rayman 32. Yeah, I guess. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry, Steven. Didn't mean to give you lip. But the theory is that if they are able to make something to time travel, they would only be able to make it up to the day where they succeed on that machine or whatever it is they used to make it. So let's say they make it today, you're only allowed to travel back into today.
That is the stupidest theory ever with no logical conclusion. I've
How?
ever heard.
Oh, okay, but we can go back to the 1900s,
No,
and that's a
we
lot
can't.
better.
Time travel is just not possible.
I feel like it will be possible. We just won't be alive to see it.
No, like the science behind time travel is the faster you go, the slower time goes, and if you get past infinity, time will start going backwards.
Why is that the only way?
That's the only.
Who's to
physically
say that's the
possible
only way?
That's how physics work. That's the only physically possible way. The only other way to time travel would be if you somehow bent the universe and distorted it. But that wouldn't be by humans. That would be by some kind of physical, not like phenomenon.
Like on Interstellar?
I've never seen that movie,
Make my
but
head hurt.
I think what they travel through like a wormhole or something.
Yeah. But
Well, in order to do that, we'd have to find a way to go through it without destroying our atoms. Because a wormhole or a black hole will crush you and destroy and rip apart all your atoms.
well, it's sci-fi, and Matthew McConaughey figured it out.
I mean, Matthew McConaughey drives a Lincoln.
All right.
Oh man, I love
Please
his
tell me
Lincoln
you guys got
commercials.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all looked at me puzzled.
I mean, Matthew McConaughey was also a lawyer for a black guy in a movie. When we all know back then he would have lost no matter what.
Jesus.
I'm not affiliated with that part. Okay, I didn't laugh.
No. You see, the more accurate representation of an old lawyer is Atticus Finch. Please tell me you guys know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
Next
Kill a
topic.
Mockingbird. It was a book you had to read in high school in order to graduate.
Isn't that the one where?
You read it?
Yes.
The Scarlet Letters?
This is my favorite book of all time.
Wait, is that the one with the Scarlet Letters?
No, the Scarlet Letter's called the Scarlet Letter.
Well,
Wait,
fuck.
that's
And
the one where
and that
his
book's
brother
not
dies, right?
And that book's not required
Speaking-
to pass high school.
Speaking of Scarlet, y'all see Scarlett Johansson in that?
Oh
Avengers
my
movie?
God. Can we quit
Aven-
going off topic?
Wait, you said Avengers movie?
No. To Kill a Mockingbird is the one with the little girl,
Yeah.
and her dad's a lawyer,
And he killed a mockingbird.
and he's what do you call it when representing this black guy. What did the black? I don't even remember what the black guy did in the book. It's been
he
so
just
long.
existed.
No, he did something in the book. I don't remember what it was, but he's representing this black guy, and they're supposed to portray Atticus as a really good lawyer because they make the jury think and debate themselves. But ultimately, in the end, he still gets convicted because he's black.
Sounds about right. Hey, to be fair, like the jailing systems that we have are kind of set up that way. So,
Why do you say that?
just statistics. They're.
What statistics?
Do you want me to bring them up right now?
Well, I'm curious as to why you think that our jailing system favors jailing young black men or black
Not-
men in general.
Ethnic, and black.
Why do you think that?
Okay, for example, there's your Lord Trump. He.
Oh shit.
Oh, come on. At least be professional if you're going to argue.
Lord Trump.
Okay, well, anyways, he.
Bastard.
Okay, there are a lot of people that commit crimes, right?
Okay.
There are a lot of people that get sentenced to jail time, right?
Okay.
If you're white and you have money, you can avoid that. You can avoid that. Yeah.
No, it's not with being white and having money. The difference is poor people don't have the best legal advice or legal defense because they can't afford it. Rich people, whether they're white or black, or whatever they are, can afford the best of the best. And even if they're clearly guilty, that can help reduce their punishments.
To like virtually
Because
have no punishment.
Not
It
no
doesn't
punishment.
matter how heinous of a fucking thing you do. Yeah.
No, you could do the worst thing ever and still be punished for it, just the same way. I mean, if a public figure like Robert Downey Jr. goes out and murders like 4 people, he's going to be in jail for life, possibly executed. There's no lawyer that's going to stop him from going to jail for life.
Who's that guy that killed himself allegedly?
Epstein?
Yeah.
What about him?
You think he really got hung?
Well, considering the evidence, it's possible he didn't, but I don't know a lot about it. I've just heard that the people who examined him said they don't believe it's suicide.
What if he's still alive?
He's not.
He could be
I've
in an
seen
island with
I've seen the
Tupac.
pictures of it. He's dead.
All right, this has been the Penthouse Podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
There's one more thing I wanted to discuss. I wanted Moses to give us his views on his religion. I think they're very interesting.
Oh, dude, Steven.
Okay.
No, I want him to explain how he believes to the audience. I think it's a very interesting belief.
I believe in God. I believe there is one God, Jesus Christ. God sent his son to come down, die for our sins.
Okay, you see, that's what I mean, though. You say that you believe in one God,
Yes.
Jesus Christ,
Yes.
but God sent his son down? What
Yes.
does that mean? Like, I thought Jesus
God
Christ
is,
was God's son.
God is the spirit and the flesh, is what we believe. God is a spirit, and when he came down in the flesh as his son. It's one role.
So you're saying he became his son when he came
Yes.
down. Very interesting. I find the way you guys do that very interesting.
And then
Steven, this is not a debate.
it's the only. Go ahead.
I'm not debating him. Just let him go on.
It's the only way that God could come down and one, set the example, and two, to die for our sins so that we can be saved. That's what we believe.
Okay. You see, he has a very interesting view on it because I've never heard that view from anybody else. Everyone else is always like, "Oh yeah, it's God and His Son is Jesus, and He came out and died for us."
That's what's the problem with a lot of Christians and religious people is that a lot of them don't know their facts, and when they don't know, they try to make up their own, which confuses not just the people they're talking to, but themselves as well. And I mean, even myself, I mean, I was born and raised Christian. I attend the Apostolic Church here in town. But even then, there are still some things that I don't know about, and I don't want to misinform you, so I'd rather not answer if I don't know the answer.
What
and
church
wait.
did you say you attend?
Sangre Apostolic Church.
Where is that? What's an apostolic? Is that just the name of it, or
It's the name of the church, yeah. It comes from the Bible or the apostles,
Okay.
all that stuff. But I mean, it's even then. I mean, I'm not saying that the apostolics are wrong, but I feel like any church has their rules where they overdo it. It just makes us Christians look bad. Like, I mean, whether you believe in it or not, like it just like the way they try to run it, it just looks bad on them. Like, for example, for some reason we were born and raised that women wearing skirts is going to send them to hell. We believed that for a long time until I finally, became to that age where I started to get curious and understanding a lot more of it and started questioning it. Like, okay, how is it that God can forgive murderers, rapists, all these other people, but a girl goes to church in a skirt and she goes to hell for it? Like, doesn't make no sense to me. So that's when I started doing my homework. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm ashamed to be there. I mean, I go there, I attend there, I'm happy to be there, but that doesn't mean that I really follow a lot what they believe, because there's no there's no biblical proof to back up what they say. So it just makes us Christians look like bad, really bad. Like, it just makes no sense.
Okay.
Same thing with homosexuality. That's a big one too. When I was going to school here at Hill College, when it was open, we had a debate about it, and one of the teachers asked us about religion and homosexuality, and in that classroom there was 2 gay guys and 2 lesbians, and I was all 4 of their friends. Like, I was friends with all of them. So I stood up and I explained it to them. And I explained it to him like this. Christians have the tendency to be like, "Oh, you're wrong, I'm right. Come to my church and you're going to be made right." That's not the way it works. I'm not going to tell you, "Come to church, Steven, but you need to be in pants when you come." No, that doesn't make no sense. That's like stupid. We believe the Bible tells us to come as you are. And when you do come with the open heart, an open mind. Do whatever it is you're doing in your life. That's your lifestyle. You could do whatever you want. But if you believe and have faith and pray enough, God will give you the conviction to change you. And that's only something God can do. I can't tell you you're wrong when there's no biblical proof behind it, and it's just my belief because that's what we were raised. I don't think cussing is wrong, because the only ones that make cussing wrong is... What happened?
No, go on. He just did something bad.
Who, me?
No, him.
Oh, okay. He just,
I hope they didn't pick up.
we're told that cursing is wrong, but the Bible doesn't say anything about cursing. If anything, the Bible has some curse words in it. I mean, the word ass is in the Bible. So why do we feel it's wrong to say, but the Bible says it? And that's where everything's wrong. I don't think cussing is wrong. I think society makes cussing wrong, which is why we should preach that it's wrong, and we're going to go to hell for it if we do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
It sounds like you like the philosophical side of your
Yeah,
church.
I mean, it is
I
because
like to think about it really.
yeah, I mean, going back to my story with the homosexuality, after I explained because they hated Christians, they hated them. But after I explained it to him, and I told him in front of the whole class, I was like, I don't agree with the sin. I think the sin is wrong. I believe it is a sin, but I told everybody in the classroom. I said, if any of you haven't committed a sin and you guys believe, raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand. So I told them, okay, so if what they're doing I feel is a sin and you guys have committed sin, so shouldn't I hate you guys too? Because you guys did your sin too? I mean, no, I can't because I've sinned myself. Now, if you guys were ever to want to come to church and you guys come with that homosexuality, come. And if God
Steven?
talks to you, if
What?
God talks to you, or God shows you, or God makes gives you that conviction that it's wrong, then let God deal with you. Until then, don't worry about it. Serve God, serve Him however you want to serve Him. Go to any church you want to go to. Just have that relationship with God. That's my way of thinking, and that's it.
All right,
See,
I like that.
that's why I was able to communicate with them, because everybody else that I would speak to about religion, they would give me a complete different
Yeah,
side.
I
of it.
really like Moses' views on it, even though I think he's crazy.
I think that's why. I mean, honestly, Steven, you're like the only one that I can actually. That's because you're atheist, right?
Yeah.
You don't believe in God, so you're the only one that I can actually sit and talk with, debate about it, and still be okay with it. Most atheists and most Christians are one of them's gonna get butthurt about it and be like, you know what, I don't even gotta deal with you, and that's it. And it's like, what the heck, dude? Like, even as a Christian, like, okay, maybe.
Oh no,
I mean,
follow a flying spaghetti monster. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It's just the way I think. I mean,
Fucking Steven.
it just doesn't. A lot of it just doesn't make sense to me. Like the way. I mean, even where I come from, apostolic, Pentecostal. I'm not putting you guys down. I mean, you guys listening, cool. I come from that background, but really think about it. Really, don't.
Yeah,
Don't
I
justify
come from
somebody-
a Catholic background.
Uh-huh.
I renounced my Catholic faith when I got older.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously you can change as you get older.
Yeah. I mean, once you get to that age where you start understanding yourself, I mean, things like that happen.
See, the bad thing about religion is, like, Steven, I was also brought up Catholic, but they, like, you're little, and it feels like you're almost being brainwashed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, that's not okay. If you find religion on your own, perfectly awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's why when I have children, if they ask me religious questions, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'll tell you what I was taught. I'll tell you what I believe, but I want you to discover it on your own. I want you to believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to just be thought that this is the way it is, because it's really what you think it is, since you can't prove it.
One of the things that this is what I believe, that the apostolic and Pentecostal, I agree with what they say, is that we are not a religion. I don't believe that I'm a religion, but we are a relationship with God. That's where it is. You have a relationship with God, because religion is something repetitive, something that happens all the time, same thing every day, and that's not what we do.
I have a
I mean-
relationship with my left hand. I'm just kidding.
But
While your right one is inserting something.
you guys turned that real fast. But
You know,
Sorry, onward
I
mode.
did
No,
want to
you're
add something. So you said that you want us to come to church with like an open heart, an open mind, or whatever.
yes,
So did the priest want the little boys to come with open legs, or?
Oh,
That's
let's
Catholicism.
just
yes.
Oh, yeah,
let
my
me make
bad.
something
That-
clear. This is all
My
Steven's
bad.
joke.
That's
This is not me.
Catholicism. My bad.
Oh, please leave us a
Catholicism.
rating.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't. If I'm against Catholic, I mean, I don't agree what they do, but hey, man, that's
Oh, so you acknowledge they do something?
no, I don't.
God has spoken.
Catholics will deny that priests do anything.
Yeah, they will, because they're saying it's God's will.
I'm, oh my God.
Gosh,
I'm
man.
not part of that. I'm not part of that.
You got priest, you got your uncle, you got your stepsister.
What?
Oh my God.
Anyways,
Wait, Orlando, did you want to tell him something? You said it before we started that you wanted to bring it up. Was it about his flashlights?
Oh. Steven, I got a question for you.
okay.
You said you were cleaning your room out. and you threw out all of your fleshlights
I threw out a lot of my sex toys. Yes.
except your butt plugs.
Oh no.
Well, I also didn't throw away the lube or the cleaning materials.
Oh no.
Okay, my question is why would you throw away the thing that you stick something in, but you kept the thing that you stick something in you?
Because I've gotten more enjoyment and better use out of that than the actual fleshlights.
Steven, go to church.
Okay, Mo, does that seem a little gay to you?
What?
Does that seem a little gay to you?
Oh man.
He's not even trying to fuck a.
See, here's
doesn't
my
make
Okay,
sense
thing.
look
if
at
he's
you.
gay.
Gotta
Let
understand.
me defend myself.
Look at. Hold on. Hold on. It's the feeling that he enjoys. I don't think Steven, I mean, as much as I joke with him, I don't think he's gay. I have heard that that kind of pleasure coming from that area is more intense. It feels good
Oh my
than a
gosh,
regular
there's another
orgasm. So if that's what he likes, hey,
No, to each their own. I'm not bashing on
Here,
it. I-
let me just explain to why I like this. So the male G spot is on your prostate, which is located near the entrance of your asshole. And as we know, the G spot is one of the most intense pleasure points in the body. Now, when you put a butt plug in there, it rubs against your G spot and it gives you what is known as a full body orgasm. So you feel more pleasure throughout your body rather than just it being centered on your genitals.
Okay, James Charles.
And okay, I'm not James Charles. That's just a disgrace. But anyways, and then when you're actually, masturbating, having sex, whatever you're doing, when you get really close to your orgasm, your muscles have to work harder to get you there, and it becomes more intense. Does that make sense? And it's also rubbing against your G spot while you're having your orgasm, so it's way better. You can disagree with it, but you haven't tried it, so you can't knock it.
I will
I
never.
used to be fully against it. Trust me. I thought, oh, that's terrible. I would never do something like that. That's just horrible. Then I tried it, and the first 3 or 4 times I tried it, I actually didn't like it because I couldn't figure out how it worked. It took a couple tries for me to get it right.
He's like, I'm gonna get it, dude.
No, I started with my finger, and I gradually worked up to what I'm at now.
The one you're using now is pretty big.
Well, the anus can naturally stretch. I think it's 8 inches around.
You have to be
before it has
careful.
any
After
damage.
after so much, you're gonna cause some damage, dude.
No, it's fine up to I think it's 8 inches, but they don't make the toys bigger than what it can stretch to.
Your asshole's gonna go in and out. It's just gonna...
I
That's
think
not how
that
it
A
works.
the
prolapsed
way
anus.
society is now today, it makes it bad. But look back then when, okay, how embarrassed, maybe not you guys, because I'm a lot older. I'm 30 years old. So I have, how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're the oldest out of them, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you and I will understand, maybe not them, but how embarrassing was it when you were in elementary or junior high and you were either, I mean, I'm not going to say caught, but, talking about masturbation or pornography? How embarrassing was it for you? It was an embarrassing thing, right?
It was.
Like if you had a porn magazine, oh, you're a pervert. Like that's the way it was back in the day. But now today, everyone's proud of it. Everyone,
Dude, like 8 and 9-year-olds are watching porn
yeah,
now.
and everyone's proud of it, dude. Like, oh yeah, I do this. Like, oh, I've masturbated this and that. I think you guys are just bashing him. I mean, it's just
We bash him because
it's
funny
coming
to
up.
do.
I mean, if that's what he likes.
If
hey,
anything,
man.
it amazes me how young people are doing it now. I didn't discover this stuff until I was over 18.
You know, I
well,
kind of
good.
I want to talk about my first experience actually.
Oh shoot.
All right, this is crazy, but already I was watching a video, like a porn video. But what's weird about it, I was laying in bed and I was watching it, and I'm feeling some weird freaking liquid in my pants. I'm like, what the heck?
Okay.
And I stick my hand in there and I fucking take it out all over my head.
Jeez.
Something's coming out.
That was a loud sound effect.
Okay, so you leaked a little pre-cum.
Yeah, and then I went back in and I moved it and I was like, whoa. So I started stroking, and then first 2 strokes, I'm shooting fucking blanks everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I discovered something good.
You're like, is this Netflix?
That first discovery is amazing.
Oh yeah, the
after
first
that-
time it happens, you're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, the first,
Oh,
time
shit.
the first time it happened for me, I was in 7th grade, and I didn't come.
You missed the best part.
No. I felt it. And you know those middle school boners, they're like raging, like everything is
I've never followed middle school.
I've never
boner.
have either.
Especially not raging.
Oh yeah, because
Why do I feel like Reggie's got arms like?
Oh,
well, it was like a first time happening, so
I get you, man.
no, but I didn't come. I felt the orgasm, but I didn't come. I'm like, oof, I don't think the
I don't think
eggs
you're
are ready
old
yet.
enough.
I thought I was broken.
eggs? The eggs?
I thought I was broken.
Eggs.
Oh my, he thought he was the wrong gender. Man, you gonna tell me right now you're like Bruce Jenner over here?
Oh.
I hope not.
I don't know what me coming and not actually coming has to do
It
with
just
Bruce
means you're
Jenner.
prepubescent, but
I was.
I think it's because you referred them to eggs.
yeah, when you said eggs, it's like, what? Do you think you're a woman or something?
Oh,
Oh my god.
we're about at like an hour and 31 minutes right now.
I think I have all you guys beat though. I was in 5th grade.
5th grade?
And I had some come out. I don't know what your problem was.
Fourth grade is when I started
If
having
anything,
dreams. Fourth grade for me was when I started having dreams.
Oh, okay.
hey, if anything, I think I beat you guys because I lasted the longest without doing it.
That seems like a
I was
shame.
I was the purest.
The purest.
If anything,
Look
I'm
at you
still
now,
you're
pure.
sticking up your culo and everything.
Hey, I'm
you
still-
overdid it now,
I'm
boy.
still a virgin, so I'm pure.
Okay, but do you or do you not choke yourself now,
Oh, I've always choked myself for like the past year.
dude? Tell me that's not
Actually-
going to be bad when he has a
Actually,
girlfriend.
I don't know.
What I recently started doing was I get my iPhone charger and I tie it around my neck. It's loose, but when I'm about to finish, I pull it as tight as I can so I can't breathe.
Jesus.
But the minute I like, if I
The
would
next
just,
Robin Williams.
if I was to start to lose consciousness, my grip would let go, so it would loosen. It's not dangerous.
Do not diss the Williams.
Anyways,
I'm
don't,
not, no,
don't
I
try
love
this
Robin
stuff at
Williams.
home.
Flubber.
Don't try it. Hey, don't try this at home, guys. I don't want to say I'm a trained professional, but I've practiced this very extensively.
Yeah, don't choke yourself. That seems demented.
It's
What was that?
It's much more intense than you think.
What's that movie where he?
What are you guys laughing about? What happened?
Because I mean,
That's a good movie.
no, I love, I love Robin Williams.
What? Okay, what's that movie where
Miss
Mrs.
Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire, dude, that
that would have
fucking
probably been
movie.
one of the first ones I said. Or Aladdin. A flubber. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. I think it was just funny because that's all you said was flubber, and that was it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Steven
It was
lost track.
Steven.
I'm sorry,
gosh.
Steven.
You've
He
got me
started
lost.
it. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Hey, you've got me lost. I don't even remember.
No,
what
okay,
we
you
were
were talking about how you like it in the culo.
No, that's not exactly what we're talking about.
It was along those lines.
So Steven, you never I humped my bed. I didn't know that.
Okay, so basically, when I was about 14, 15, I'd say sophomore year, I knew what it was by then because I had learned from my 9th grade biology class exactly how sex worked. And I tried to masturbate, jack off, whatever, one day, but I couldn't do it because, I mean, I didn't use any kind of lube or anything. I just kind of tried to stroke it, but it hurt. So that was the first time I ever tried. So I quit after like 2 times. I was like, this doesn't feel good.
Are you cut or uncut?
I'm cut.
Oh, that's why.
Well, later on, I'd say after when I was 19, I used to do it without lube. I did that for a year until I discovered Hustler Hollywood. But
lotion or anything?
no, dry.
Your sister didn't have lotion?
She did, but I still did it dry. I chose to do that. I liked it better at the time. But
Soap is the worst kind of
14
lubricant.
is like the first time I tried 14, 15, and then like a couple months later is when I tried it with the soap, the Dove soap. And that's when I learned that it burns if you get it inside, and it still didn't even feel good to me. So I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like it was stupid. And then I tried it again when I was 18 because you guys were talking about, oh, how great it is at Me and Ed's or whatever. And I fucked it up again with the soap.
I think we were
don't
talking
know-
about sex. Not,
Yeah.
I don't think we were talking about jacking off.
Well, whatever it was. I don't know why I used soap again. It's like I didn't learn my lesson the first time. But this was later on when I was 18, almost 19. I was just taking a shit one day, and I was messing with my junk, playing with it, and I pulled it in just the right way, and it got my attention because it felt different. And I just did that again. I was like, what the fuck? I kept doing that, and then next thing you know, it happened. And I was
Came on your
like,
shit?
oh, I came all over myself, and I was like, wow, that's what that is.
Gonna cry, gonna shit and go.
And from that day on, yeah, I was I've been doing it ever since then.
Damn,
Been
that's crazy.
experimenting with it since I was 18, 19 years old, and now I'm 22, almost 23, and I've done some interesting shit.
Gonna be shoving a whole table in his ass.
No,
He's sitting on water bottles.
my ambitions have stopped at the biggest one I have. I don't really want to go much bigger.
You're gonna be like those people that stretch their ears out. You're gonna be like,
Although
"Oh, I gotta go
would-
bigger."
There is one thing I've thought about that I just thought, wow, if I could do that, that'd be insane. Have you ever seen the wand that women use?
No.
It's this big white wand that you can buy for women, and it's probably the maximum 8-inch circumference that your ass can stretch to without taking damage.
Oh wow.
That's how big it is, and I always thought, what if I could stick that whole thing up there? Because I've seen videos of people do it, and it amazes me how much their
Porn
ass
stars?
stretch. Yeah, porn stars.
Not your average person.
Oh, I know. It just amazes me how they can do that. I'm just like, wow.
I remember watching
You
a video of a guy
imagine?
shoving his head in some girl's vag.
That's
I don't know how I came
What the
across
heck
it.
you guys watching?
yeah. What are you watching? And that's interesting.
That still sounds possible.
if
because,
anything,
I mean,
that
kids
would
come out
cause
of there.
damage. If anything,
I don't know. She was liking it.
I would suffocate.
she's definitely loose. We'll say that much. Although I think the most brutal video I've ever seen was One Guy, One Jar. You may know it.
Oh, yeah.
man.
that
That's
was
the most
terrible.
brutal video
Andrew
I've
showed me
seen.
that one.
That's bad, man.
Your wife actually showed me that video.
That's a terrible video.
I know. She,
Was
she
Andrew
thought
the
I
one
wouldn't
that
be able
got
to
it
handle
first?
watching it. She thought I was gonna give in halfway through it.
That's a bad ending.
It's
That's
a bad video.
scary.
Yeah, it's a bad video.
What's it
but
called again?
One Guy, One Jar.
I'm gonna go check it out.
It's this guy. He takes a glass jar. He shoves it up his ass. It breaks, and then he starts pulling the glass shards out while he's bleeding.
It's inside
Whoa.
his
Yeah,
anal,
it's-
and
he's pulling them out.
It closed back up, so he's
Yeah.
trying to stick his hand back in there and pull the glass out.
And
At
then
the same time, it's just shredding his insides.
in the, I think he faints at the end of the video, doesn't he?
I don't recall.
Well, I don't remember. It just says in the video description that he almost died and he had to go to the hospital.
Did he come and then he fainted?
He didn't masturbate. He just puts the jar up, it breaks, and he starts pulling the
I
shards
think
out.
he immediately regretted when it broke.
Oh yeah,
Because he was
he
like,
didn't.
he looked like, oh my god. Please.
He didn't make any noise in pain, which surprised me.
There are people that are into that. What's that? What does BDSM stand for? Bondage,
Domination, submission.
mass.
Man, I don't know. It's something like that.
He looked like he was one of those type of people that was
He probably
really
was.
into that shit.
He probably was.
Stay away from that, Steven.
Hey, you know what?
Oh,
I think
man.
the idea of a girl dominating me is kind of hot. Giving her the power for once, I mean, that seems kind of hot.
I'm not gonna lie that I share.
I was choked once. That's not a good thing.
Okay, I don't know about the choking part, but
I
her,
think
like,
you have to be into
dominant.
that, but I'm talking about where
I
she
mean, I thought
controls.
getting, like,
What I
cowgirl
mean
was
is like where she
dominating.
controls the
No,
situation.
it's-
She
yeah.
tells you what to do. She tells you what we're gonna do.
This
It's-
bitch was choking me. She was controlling me, dude.
No, I mean like she tells you I'm gonna ride you, or like you're gonna do doggy to me. Like she's the one controlling it, not just you deciding what you're gonna do.
You got to take a lead, like when you're dancing.
You can both be the lead. It's just like how at a restaurant you both take turns paying.
Okay.
The same applies in the bedroom. You both take turns pegging. You both take turns, you know. No.
Both take turns shoving jars up each other's asses.
I'll skip the jar. Or I'll use a plastic jar.
Oh, plastic.
Not doing glass.
You know, I actually have a glass butt plug.
Oh, no.
It's much different than the plastic ones. It actually is harder to get in, and it feels different.
Give it to
But
us.
it's quite
so we
amazing.
Don't have to get that call.
No, it's made for that purpose. It's not gonna break.
It's
Orlando,
made
it's
to go
stuck
in
in
your
there.
butt.
Yeah, there you can get stainless steel, glass, or plastic, like hard plastic. Those are the three major types.
What is it?
It's just like a glass butt plug.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
made
thought
to
it was
go.
a jar. I was like, they make
No,
jars for that?
No,
It's an anal jar.
it's
like, what the
it's,
heck?
it's flared and it's made to go up there, but it's actually a lot harder to get in if you're not used to it, and it feels different. But it's pretty good.
Oh, you got a challenge.
A challenge.
A new challenger has approached.
What was it, Super Smash Brothers? Get it? Smash?
You're smashing something.
He said smash, but the last word is brothers.
Yes. What are you doing, step bro?
Oh my god.
Well, Mo, do you have any plugs before we end this?
Like for the iPhone.
No,
Man,
dog,
he's so innocent.
Like you can,
I
you
think
can
I
give a
got
shout
it.
out to your
Yeah, you have anything you want to shout
Brothers.
out?
Okay, yeah. So, well, first of all, I want to start off by saying thank you guys for allowing me to be here. It's been awesome. It was cool. I like it. Hopefully, I can come back on again soon.
Never.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
Always
sorry,
welcome,
Steven, for laughing during your stories, but man, you're a funny guy. Yeah, just real quick, like I was mentioning earlier, you guys, for those of you listening, if you're not following, check out Sanger Live. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok.
Pornhub.
On TikTok, maybe on TikTok we're Fresno County Live, and also on YouTube we're Fresno County Live. But it's all the same thing. We do it just different areas. So yeah, check us out on there. You'll find me, Big Mo, my brother Drewski 2011, and my other brother Rayman 32. And yeah, and shout out to you guys too, man. I know it's your guys' own podcast, but you guys did a good job. You guys are doing great. Like I said, the world needs podcasts like this too. You know, it can't always all be innocent. So keep doing what you guys are doing. I really hope you guys meet your guys' goal and continue to do this.
Likewise.
I think it's really awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah. Thank you guys. It's awesome.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Much love, Mo.